Okay, so this topic, thank you for coming down here. How to create your own job in the travel and tourism industry. I'm sure that's not a difficult task, or is it? We're going to find out. I'm Jeremy Lawrence. I'm the editorial director of Arabian Business. So thank you for inviting me down here. And I'm here with Rana Dabadne, who is the co-founder of Pomelo Travel, a boutique tour company, and Heba Reda, who is co-founder of Emirati Kashtash, which organizes cultural tours in the UAE. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, we're going to have a bit of a Q&A, and then we'll throw questions open for you eager people out there. So we'll crack on. Rana, I'm going to start with you because I was doing my research and I saw on Instagram you've just got back from somewhere very different to here, the Arctic, yeah?
Correct. Yeah. Can you hear me? Is it on? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I just got back from a very special place in the Arctic. Not all my trips are like that, but this is how we do it. We go and explore the places and come back with an idea of how to advise our clients on what to do there and which clients are suitable for which kind of trips. So for us, it's really important to see the place before we sell it.
So basically, you go to amazing places around the world to decide who might like it.
Yeah.
Wow. Who wants that job? I want that job. And okay, before we come to you, Heber, so how did you get into this business?
I always wanted to be in the travel business. I just didn't know how to go about it because I kept hearing all this advice about it's over competitive. The online industry is taking a huge part of it, and it's not lucrative anymore. So then I started to find a way to get into it from a different angle. With my research that I did, I found out that there's this unique opportunity where you can focus on experiences rather than selling only hotels or air tickets. So the idea is to do highly customized trips to a very special kind of people that are interested in experiences. So we always focus on experiential travel. It's not any kind of travel. And this really needs the personal expertise. It doesn't really depend on the online industry that much. So this is an area where we thought it's not that competitive, especially in the Middle East, and we are seeing a very good demand towards um, uh, experiences that will make memories last a lifetime, and people who want to go for a family bonding experience or to learn something new or expedition trips. So all these kind of trips are different from what we see online, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to come back to how you market the business more in a second. But Heba, can you tell me about your business first of all?
Yes, sure. Um, so our company is specialized mostly in authentic walk tours, and what we focus on mostly is on the creative side of things. So we are a creative tourism company. We don't want to be considered as the normal tour companies out there that bring in tourists and so on. They do the great job of bringing in tourists to the country, but then what we like to focus on more is educating those tourists and the residents of the UAE about the culture, the traditions, and the history of our country through creative ways. And one of the ways that we do that is through authentic walk tours. So we actually take the groups on walk tours around Old Dubai mostly to visit the heritage sites. And then we also create treasure hunts, and these treasure hunts are customized and they're themed, and we create them from scratch. So we innovate them, we create the games and so on, and they can be customized for people to come and learn about the culture, but in a very fun way. as well as it could be as a team building activity for companies and organizations. So we mostly focus on the creative side of things, and we try to send our message, but in an innovative way.
Wow, sounds fascinating. So you do a lot of walking for a living, yeah?
Yes, we do.
I hope you wear comfortable shoes when you're doing that.
Of course, no heels allowed.
No heels. Okay. And now, last time I was in the souk a couple of months ago when I had family out, I noticed it was a lot busier than I remembered it from probably the previous time the family was out the previous year. So it does seem like those old parts of Dubai around the creek are increasing in visitor footfall. So is that something you've noticed as well?
Yes, because we always believe that Dubai and the UAE is not only about the tall buildings, the biggest shopping mall, and all of that. We want people to understand how it all began. We have history and we have a rich culture and traditions. So we try to show people how it all started. So we give them this experience, this authentic experience, and we focus on the historical sites so that they can understand how it all started. And the most important thing is that we give them the opportunity to engage with us as Emirati in open and honest conversations. So they get the opportunity to ask us. By the way, our company has 100% Emirati tour guides, and they're all from the youth. So I'm very happy to see some faces here, and I hope you're interested for the future. Maybe you can join us. But we really encourage people to enter this industry.
Wow. Is that as volunteers or will you pay them?
I will pay them.
Well, there we go. You said you're here because you want a job in the tourism industry, and we've sorted it. So, well, that's it. Thank you very much. We're done. What's the strangest question you've ever been asked as an Emirati tour guide? Can you think off the top of your head?
As tour guides, we notice different things, yeah. But we get a lot of questions from different people coming from different backgrounds and so on and nationalities, and we totally understand that. But one of the funny things that or strange things that I found was that I had a Western family coming on a tour with us, and I noticed that the man avoided eye contact with me and he avoided looking at me. And I was talking to him and explaining things, and he would just look at the floor and he looked scared, like intimidated to talk to me. And then I stopped and I asked him, I was like, sorry, but is there a reason why you're not looking at me? And then he told me that he was told not to look into an Emirati woman's eyes. So I found that a bit strange, and it's like a stereotype, you know? We don't blame them, of course, because a lot of people, it's just their first time coming here, and it's just a stereotype, but we're here to ensure that they have the right ideas about us.
Okay, great. Before we get into the business of how all this works as a business, just one final question. What's the UAE's best kept secret that you can tell us about?
Kept secret. Well, it has a lot of secrets, but one of my favorite, which was recently found, I'm sure maybe a lot of you heard about, is Saruq al-Hadid. Have you heard about it? Girls, hello, you're Marathis, you're supposed to know. No? Anyways, they also have a museum down at Al-Shandaga area, and it's a museum where Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, he was actually flying his helicopter once on the desert, and they found a lot of gold. And when they unburied the gold, they found a lot of treasures that date back from thousands of years ago. So it showed that the area here has a very deep history. And they actually have a museum open now to showcase all these items.
That's a Shindiga.
And Shandaga.
Oh,
yes.
well, there you go. I hope you're going to go down there soon, ladies.
I think you girls need a tour with us.
Are they supposed to be working for you or paying you? We've got to
First,
figure
I'll
this
take
out.
them on a tour to ensure they know their country, and then inshallah
First
they'll
they
work
pay
with
you,
us.
then you pay them. Okay, let's get into the business of how all this works. Rana, how much of your business for the marketing is it sounds like it's quite word of mouth. Is that true?
Yeah, it is very true. We really depend on word of mouth and social media.
Right. Okay. So that was my next question.
Mm.
When I was doing my research, the first thing I did was look at the social media channels for Pomato Travel. So yes, how much of a focus is that, and not just in terms of just posting a few pictures, but how much do you think about and craft your social media channels?
We don't really think about it that much. Maybe we should, but it's a very daunting process. And I have to say that influencers and people who do that full time are really doing it full time, and we don't have the luxury to go that route because we have a business to run and it's quite demanding. The idea is that when we travel, we try to take nice photos and we try to be informative to the people who are following us. So we give them a piece of advice or we give them information that they wouldn't otherwise find. And it's just a presence at the moment. Our followers are genuine followers, so they are not bought. You know, these days you can really uh, do some ads and get some, like they call it, buy some followers. I don't know how that works exactly, but it does. Yeah, social media is definitely important, but we don't have much focus on it.
Mainly Instagram.
Instagram, because of the reach, is much higher because of the photo aspect of it, and because we are in the travel business, it's very important. But Facebook as well. I mean, it depends. If you want to invite people to events, then you use Facebook. If you want them just to see your photos and where you've been, then you use Instagram. So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve here.
Okay. Heather, what about for Emirati Cash Dash? Is that word of mouth? Is that social media? Is that your website? How do you market your business?
I would say it's a mix of all that you mentioned. But also we rely mostly on Instagram, and our account is Emirati Keshtas. And by the way, the word Keshta means a journey or a trip in Emirati. And that's why we chose the name, because we wanted our name to also be authentic and reflect our identity. So we rely mostly on social media, but also word of mouth, especially from the people who join our tours and the people who join our treasure hunts the most. Because surprisingly, a lot of the people who join our treasure hunts are residents and Emiratis. So they really come and they discover the place and they tell us that it's their first time to go around these historical areas.
Wow, interesting. So, how much is it when you do this promotion is about the increasing the awareness of your brand, and how important is it personally to have a personal brand? Do you want to start first?
Because we work on a personal level with our customers and we have to know them, and we do this client profiling and we do bespoke travel, it's very important that the personal brand is there because they want to know who you are. They want to feel that they can relate to you, that you have the same background, you have the same interests and tastes. So it's quite important. But the company brand is also important, like the presence of an office, you know, that you're there, you have a website, and you're pretty established. You've been serving some high-profile companies. You've been doing some high-profile events, so it's a mix of both, actually.
Okay. Heba, what about you?
I think in the world here today, especially in the UAE, where we have a lot of companies, especially in the tourism industry, it's very important for a company to distinguish itself from the others. So this is what we try to focus on, is by establishing our own unique name, especially that we're all Emiratis. So that's how we want to differentiate ourselves, and maybe also specialize in some of the areas, like, for example, walk tours and so on.
Okay. Now, I want to talk about boutique experiences and whether that's a growing trend, because I'm guessing for all you people out here, even 10 years ago, if you'd wanted to go into the travel industry, you would just try and go to a Swiss hotel school or go to a big tour operator and get a job there. But perhaps the market is changing, perhaps people's tastes are changing due to all sorts of reasons, not least social media. So arguably people want a more boutique personal experience. Is that something you agree with broadly?
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing it a lot with our customers, even with the hotel brands themselves. Even the big hotels now are trying to open their boutique kind of, branch or chain, or they are creating this hip and trendy a branch of their business, and more boutique-ish, of course. It's just because it's different. People are well exposed now. They are well traveled. They don't want the standard experience, and they want to experience more. They see it on Instagram. They hear it on on TV or something, and they want something different. So definitely, I agree with that.
Okay. Heber, are you seeing the same thing?
Yes, I totally agree with that because I believe that it's very important to have or to provide a personalized experience for the guests. So, us, for example, we do not take tours of 30 people and above. And that's because we prefer having smaller groups, even if it was for two, like for a couple, just to ensure that we deliver the right message and that we give the person in front of us our best, all the knowledge that we have, and we concentrate on them. So this is what we prefer doing.
Okay. And aside from social media, which obviously has given a lot more people a lot more access to information about a place when they visit, are there any other factors that are driving this change? Is it a millennial thing, quote unquote? What's behind this rise for boutique experiences? Have you got any thoughts on that?
I think, as I said, because people nowadays are well traveled, they are well exposed, they are well experienced. They've been to Paris and London and Amsterdam, and they want something new. And of course, what's driving this change is that now you see it, you see people, other people doing it, and you wonder, why can't I, right? So it's part of it is social media. Part of it is that it's a different world where it's like, as they say, it's a small village. Like the world feels a small village, and you feel connected somehow, and you feel it's possible. While 20 years ago, you would be crazy if I say that I want to go to the Arctic, for example. Now it's completely doable.
It's still a little bit crazy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Heber, without giving away your next business idea, but people here are wanting to know, how to get into the industry. Are there any gaps in the market that you see in this city or this country or region for similar sort of boutique experiences? Is there something you think someone needs to fill that space?
Yes. The first obvious gap that I would like to mention is the lack of Emirati tour guides in the industry.
That's these.
Yes. So a lot of Emiratis, they just go and study tourism. So it's available at universities, but then they don't continue as tour guides. And I don't know why, but maybe the idea of being a tour guide is that they would take people around and so on. But what people have to keep in mind is that a tour guide is actually an ambassador to their country. Perfect. Okay, so a tour guide is actually an ambassador. So it's a great it's a great career. And by the way, I'm doing this out of passion. So although I'm a tour guide, I have my other side job as well. So I also work.
What's your side job?
I work at a bank, international bank.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm a banker. So what I'm trying to say is that if you want to do this as a passion, you can still do it. You don't have to be 100% just dedicated to it. You just need the passion to it. Yeah.
Okay. Passion, everyone. It's the name of the game. Rana, so for people who want to think about this, well, sorry, before I get into that, I was going to ask, what the things they should weigh up and not. But let me ask you as well, are there any gaps in the market that you see in the market for more boutique experiences beyond what you do?
Not really. More and more people are getting into that business. But of course, there is always a room for improvement. I mean, there's always someone who can come up with something new.
Okay, it doesn't just have to be you. Mainly you, though. Okay, so let's dig into it. What are the things people need to think about? Say you've got a great idea for, I don't know, desert safaris, something to do with the water, something to do with history, some kind of tour guide. What do you or you need to think about when you're going to set up a business? What's your advice?
My advice would be that you really should just jump into it, because a lot of people have ideas and they you keep thinking about them over and over, and then you just settle for your normal job, but you also have this urge, right? If you have it, then just jump into it, understanding that it's not easy, it's not all fun. Like, we travel a lot, right? But it's not that glamorous, I have to say.
It looks glamorous on your Instagram account.
Exactly. This is how it looks on social media usually. But in reality, we get calls in the middle of the night from clients, and sometimes there's an emergency situation that you have to attend to. So it's really demanding. And when you have your own business, it's 24/7. So no holidays.
Oh dear.
No, but
I thought that's what you did for a living.
Well, this is how you do it when you
Other
have your own
people's
business.
holidays.
Yeah, other
Yeah.
people's holidays.
Okay.
You live through them.
Yeah. Heather, what are the first steps that you need to take if you're going to set up a business like this?
Okay, I would say first of all, think out of the box, because there are a lot of people out there, but you need to be different and unique. So think out of the box, come up with new ideas, be authentic and be different. Don't be afraid of being completely different to others, and find the right people to seek guidance from. Okay, even if you seek guidance from others, you can take whatever will suit you and leave the rest. But you can always seek guidance from people who have been through the experience before you. And one piece of advice that I always have in mind is that you don't have to start from scratch. You can continue on what people already started and continue in your own unique way. But just get into it and don't be afraid. You will face obstacles, but this is just the way you're going to face with everything else that you ever want to start. But if you keep on saying that you're not going to take risks and you don't want to face the obstacles in front of you, you will never get anywhere. And you can always start small and grow up. You don't have to start big. So this is my...
Have you ever considered doing motivational speaking as well as being a banker and being a tour guide?
Thank you. Maybe I'll consider that.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people look at travel influencers and the rest and see them swanning around the world and staying for free in nice hotels. Do some people mistake the importance of monetizing their idea? Do you ever see that?
You mean influencers are not monetizing it? Is this what your
are
question?
you seeing that? You know, it's okay to get something for free, but you've got to actually make money and pay bills as well.
No, because I think hotels are much more smarter than that. Like, if you don't bring them business, then they're not going to host you for free, right? But I think influencers are the good ones. Are, of course, there are so many out there, but the good ones are really doing a good job at making it work in terms of business. And maybe the next step for some of them is building a brand, and some of them already did, and this is a good step forward, I think. So yeah.
So it can be something that actually makes you money and becomes a career.
It could, if done properly.
Have you seen that, Heather?
In like social media influencers?
Yeah. Have people? Do you know people who've built careers doing that?
Yes, of course. We know a lot of them. There are a lot of Arabs as well who have done it. A lot of Emiratis. They definitely got a lot of criticism at the beginning. People just saying that they're not doing anything and getting paid for it, but they're actually smart. Even if they're not doing anything, at least they thought out of the box. So we consider them like business people.
Okay, so the good ones can survive and thrive even. That's great. That's great. Okay, so we want to throw questions to the audience shortly. Before we do that, I just want to ask you both what your best and worst experience so far has been in your careers in travel and tourism. Rana?
I'm not gonna disclose this information publicly.
What, the good or the bad?
The bad one.
Okay.
The good. I mean, the good is the whole thing is seeing the world and learning more about experiences that I wouldn't normally think exist even. So the whole package is a good thing for me. There's
Okay.
no specific thing that I can mention.
Okay. What about you, Heather?
I would say the good is when we receive delegates and students from abroad. We receive a lot of students from universities in the UK and the US, and I personally prefer that because walking around with them, we not only talk about our culture and so on, but we also learn a lot from them, and we get to understand their perspective and how things are in their world. So these are like my favorite tours. And the worst, you said you asked for them. I wouldn't say anything is bad because everything is a learning experience. So even if we had difficult ones, I would consider them as learning. So I don't consider anything bad.
Wow, there's no such thing as a bad experience, folks. It's all a learning experience. I like that. This sounds like you had a bad experience, but you just want to... Okay, let's get to some questions. Does anybody have some questions? Anything you're dying to know or ask? I see one there. Yeah, I'm sure you put your hand up nearly. Questions? No? Have we got any budding travel influencers out there? And I think I asked at the start, is anyone actively considering a career in travel and tourism? I presume that's why you were all here. Oh, wait, we'll get a microphone over here.
Thank you. I'm totally new and educated, master in German management. I want to join the tourism industry. So, what you suggest that how I start?
Sorry, can you just repeat the question? What do you suggest for what?
How I start?
How to start?
Yeah.
And what is it you specifically want to do with it?
Join tourism industry.
Does anyone have any suggestions?
I would say that if you don't want to start your own business, but you just want to start in the industry to take experience, there are a lot of tour companies out there. Just get in touch with them, go have your interviews, and see what best suits you. And then just start from there, gain the experience that you need, and then maybe start your own business. But just get into it so that you can gain experience.
And I guess the good thing is a lot of the work that tour companies do is at the weekend. So even if you've got a day job, you can still work around your day job. So that's the first thing, do 2 jobs. Yes, over here.
First of all, thank you for all the information. It was very informative. So I'm a tourism student, and I am planning to grow out in this industry, go out and explore. So, what would be the essential skills that a student would require in this tourism industry, globally and probably locally as well?
Essential skills that you require for a career in tourism. Rana?
I think honestly, it's just being creative in a way and common sense. Because the thing with our kind of business is that there's no school for that, right? Unless you want to go work in hospitality, which is a hotel or something like that. Otherwise, it's just serving clients and understanding that people are different and that you need to be creative to impress them, and one skill that I find very, very important is impeccable attention to details. This is really, really important. But I think it's a skill that you can develop more than have it like naturally. You can develop a skill like that.
Sounds like patience is probably quite a good skill to have as well, is it?
Can I also add to that?
You can indeed.
I would say that you also need time management skills, because that's very important for you to be able to manage your time. Also to have communication skills, because you deal with a lot of different people coming from different backgrounds and nationalities and so on. So you would also need to be very diplomatic and have the speed of thinking. There's a saying that I always keep in mind, which says, think fast, speak slow. So speak slowly, but think quickly, because you get asked difficult questions, and sometimes different ones, but you always have to respond in a very diplomatic way. So you can't offend anyone. So these are the kind of skills that you need, but you will also acquire once you start working.
Very good advice. Don't upset anyone. We've got a question here, and we'll come to you afterwards, sir. I knew that you had questions down here, really.
Like, how did you manage to work in two places? In the bank and two.
So first of all, I started as a tour guide, and I was a freelancer. I did it just out of passion. As I mentioned, I started off alone, and I ran tours whenever I had the time to. Okay, but I try to balance my life, and I'm very flexible. So, for example, we can run the tours during the weekends, on my days off, or whenever I'm on leave, in the afternoons, and so on. But now, after establishing my own company, I have tour guides who, by the way, also have their own work, and some of them are actually students. So this shows you that you can also follow your passion no matter what you have. Because I always say the people who went to the moon had the same amount of time that we do. They had 24 hours and we have 24 hours. If they did it, and a lot of people invented and they did a lot of things, we can do a lot of things in one day. So never say you don't have time. So you can. If you start, probably at the beginning it will be difficult, but then once you start, you'll manage your time.
So ambition, that's another skill that you need to have.
One more question, can I ask?
You have a question? Yes, we do. But if you've got a question there, just first while we're here.
If you're meant to choose one job, what would you choose?
Between what I do now and the tourism,
Banking.
Wow, that's cruel.
yeah.
She's asking her to choose.
If I really, no, haram. Maybe someone is here from my work. I can't answer that. No, I love them both very much.
Didn't we say diplomacy is a very important skill? We did. But that was a good question. I like that one. Can we had a question from the gentleman over here. If we could pass the mic over.
Thank you. I want to add one point and one question. I think any change should start with the person itself and its mindset. And you should try to believe in their abilities and be more confident and think, because if you think you are unique, then you will make a unique way of founding any unique ways. And that's the point I have to add it to the valuable advices they say. And the question, if any young people wants to start a business in a Dubai, how much it will cost the person, please, if you have any idea about that.
Wow, startup costs. I mean, can you do? I guess the question a little bit more widely is: do you need capital to start a business, or can you just start without really much backing?
In Dubai, the tourism industry, as everywhere else in the world, it's regulated, and you need to have an office of a certain size. I'm only talking about travel agencies and tour operators at the moment. So it is regulated. Of course, the idea whether to have it in a free zone or a mainland Dubai. So there are so many things that you need to go through, but it is costly. Uh, but it's not anything that would prevent you from getting into the business. It's something reasonable that you can achieve and you can do. Like anywhere else in the world, you also need a bank guarantee for security reasons.
Okay, so there's a
my
few hurdles to jump through as with any country. Heather, is that your experience that you found as well?
I would say that I have another experience because as Emiratis, we get a different license, which is called Intilaq. So they try to help us a lot with it. So I wouldn't, I don't know, I think I'm not in the right position to answer your question, right? Yeah, but yeah, she had a better answer.
Okay, but that does show that for any Emiratis there,
They
if
can
you
start, of course.
if
Yeah.
you've got a dream to start it and you're prepared to work hard and be ambitious, then the support is there for you to make a go of it.
Yes, yes. You'll find the right support. It's
Okay.
all available.
Fantastic.
I have a question. Thank you for nice talking, for easy talking about difficult question. I have such a question. Tourism is its service. So many of the personal of your colleagues of guide people you found for make business. How do you find right peoples? Especially it's important at the beginning because of you don't know the people, you just hide them and you start run your business and you up of them. If the quality of your business of your service is up of people, you still don't know how to hire right people and what skills need mostly. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a crucial part of any business, of course. If you didn't get that, was how do you know how to hire the right people? Ryan, you work with a business partner? Do you have any more staff?
Yes, we have a few other people in our Jordan office, and we're thinking to have also more people in our Dubai office. I don't find it that difficult because you kind of know the person if you sit with them a few times. Of course, you have to do the proper training and the proper guidance. But I don't see why, like, when something doesn't make a good fit, then you just say it's not working. And you usually reach this point before a crucial disappointment happens. I believe you should tackle things on the spot if they happen.
Have you ever had to fire anyone yet?
No, I'm happy with the people
Well, that's
that
good.
are working with.
It's a good person to work for then. And Heber, what about you? How do you hire people? Are there any criteria that you use to make sure you get the right people?
Yes, because we mostly rely on tour guides. So here, if anyone wants to become a tour guide, they have to undertake a course with the Department of Tourism, and they go through examinations and so on to become certified. So we ensure they're certified, first of all, but it's also about the person himself or herself. So it's about the character and personality, because after all, it's a brand name. And the people who represent us have to represent the brand name in the proper way. So I think that's important. So we look mostly at the personality, the knowledge, the skills, and so on. But we also train people.
Have you had any bad experiences with employees?
No, honestly not.
Wow.
We have a lot of volunteers as well. And they're all from like the youth age group. And they volunteer with us mostly if we have treasure hunts or events, any cultural events and so on. So we're open. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for that question. Do you have any more questions at the back there?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry I was late. I didn't listen all the first part. But for Pomelo Travel, how the business, how your client come? It's come by Instagram or you have a database of connections? where you sell them the services or the experience?
When we started, it was mostly through our network of family and friends. This is how we started. But then word of mouth is a very powerful tool. And at the moment, this is our main generator of business. We use social media, but we can't say that it's generating business. It's just a presence. It's for the brand name. It might be generating business without us knowing, but the requests that we receive are through other people and references.
Another question, your Dubai office, it is a franchise business or it's your own business?
No, it's our own. We created the Pomelo Travel 5 years ago. We started in Jordan, and we moved here for personal reasons. We still have the office in Jordan, but now we have an office in Dubai. So it's our baby.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay, well, I've just got one final question. I understand the patience. Thank you for being patient and listening. My final question to you guys, sorry, did you have a question over there? No? Okay. My final question is the best place that you've ever visited, your best travel destination.
Okay, I always say this, and it's becoming boring, but it's Norway.
Norway.
Norway. In the summer, it's amazing. In the winter, it's out of this world. I mean, I love this country. I really love it.
Okay.
So go
Eva?
to Norway.
Have the same answer, but I love all the countries I visited. I'm well traveled. I actually just came back from New Zealand 2 days ago. I'm still jet lagged, but I think Norway is very special. All the countries are special in their own unique way, but if I was asked for my favorite, it's Norway.
Where's the best Arabic restaurant you've ever found not in the Middle East?
I don't go to Arabic restaurants when I'm abroad.
You're a proper traveler, yeah? Great. Okay, just one final to ask if anyone's got any further questions. No? Okay, well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this has been instructional and entertaining. I hope you've learned something. We wish anyone here who wants to get into travel and tourism well. Good luck. The lessons of this are to sort of work hard, have a good original idea, and be diplomatic. And what else did we have? I think persistent. There we go. And be prepared to do 2 jobs for a while. So I want you to thank Rana Debavne, co-founder of Pomelo Travel, and Heba Reda, co-founder of Emirati Kashtash. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening, everyone. Appreciate it.